Okay. How I get started with the hearing is I have to read you a statement. I have to read to every single hearing. When I'm done, what will happen is Ms. Madeira will take over the case. She will get the names and spellings of everyone who is talking today. And they will be sworn in as if because they're testifying. Then we'll switch over to the commissioners. So bear with me while I read the statement, please. Good morning and welcome to the Philadelphia Fair Housing Commission. My name is Ali D. Medeiros. I am the attorney for the Fair Housing Commissioners. Also present here today from the Fair Housing Commission staff is Ms. Brenda Madeira, who's your case manager. You'll also see the name Mr. Michael Fontaine. He runs our Zoom hearings for us. Before the hearing, I am required to go over a few things with you. First, you are being recorded. We record all our hearings. By remaining on the line and participating in the hearing, you are consenting to be recorded. Our Zoom hearings have the same force and effect as if we were in person. The only difference is on Zoom, we do not have a court reporter. In the event either party wants to appeal a final order of this commission, they can reach out to myself or the case manager, and we will provide them with a copy of the video recording. Please be mindful of what you're saying and doing because it is being recorded. Second, at 9 o'clock this morning, the commissioners and myself, the attorney, met in a private executive session to discuss the day's cases. We do this on every hearing day with every case. Third, the party has had the opportunity to submit documents. I have the submitted documents saved on my computer and can share them with everyone on the screen. Please keep in mind that the commission generally only reviews the very basic documents in the case prior to the hearing. If you would like a document reviewed by the commission, please reference it by a name, date, or description so that I can post it on the screen for everyone to look at the same time. Lastly, during the course of today's hearing, it might be necessary for the commissioners to speak privately to make decisions in this matter. If they need to do that, they'll invite you to join separate rooms divided by party called breakout rooms. A prompt will come on your screen at the appropriate moment asking you if you would like to join a breakout room. We will direct you to click join when you see that prompt. Once in the breakout room, please remain in the room. We will never end a hearing when you are in a separate room. Please make sure you're back in this main room and that a commissioner or staff member dismisses you before you log off or hang up. Thank you very much for listening. I'm going to hand the case over to Ms. Brenda Madeira. Again, she's going to get the names and spellings of everyone who is participating, who is speaking today, and she'll go ahead and swear them in. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fair Housing Commission. This is the case of Barbara Watson versus Gloria Hudson. This is our first hearing. This is docket number 2024-09-27-18787. Beginning, so at this time, I would like to start off with Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones, would you please state, I'm going to have everyone give me their names and their title and their connections to this case as I go down the list, okay? So beginning with Ms. Jones, would you please state your name and spell it clearly for the recording?
Cassandra Jones, Cassandra Jones. I am Barbara's sister and power of attorney.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Gutman, would you also give us your full name, spelling, and your relationship to the tenant?
Roberta Gutman, Roberta, Gutman, G as in George, UTMAN, and I am the sister of Barbara Watson.
Thank you. Ms. Williams, would you please also state your name, spell it clearly, and the relationship to the tenant?
Yes. My name is Paulette Williams, PAULETTE WILLIAMS, and I am the sister of Barbara Watson.
Thank you. Dr. Tayton, would you please spell your name and your relationship to the tenant, please?
All right. I am Dorothy Tatum, and my spelling of my first name is DOROTHY. The last name is TATEM, and I am sister to Barbara Watson.
Thank you. Counselor Adams, would you just put your name on the record and your relationship to this case, please?
Yes, Adam D. John, and I am the attorney for Gloria Hudson, and she is here as well.
Ms. Hudson, are you testifying so that I can also swear you in and put your name on the record?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay, ma'am, can you give us the correct spelling for your name, please?
Gloria, GLORIA, Hudson, HUDSON.
And your relationship to the case?
Personal care home provider.
Okay.
Caregiver. Caregiver would be simple.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So at this time, I would like to swear you all in. Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, So help you God. I will ask, since there's so many of you, would you one at a time just respond back, please?
I do.
I
I
do.
do.
I do.
Roberta Gutman, I affirm.
Okay, thank you. Allison, do you want me to keep going or we're gonna stop here?
No, please keep going, Brenda.
Okay, thank you. So as you know, documentations have already been submitted to this commission. We would ask you, please, that if during your testimony, if there is a document that you wish to be shown on the screen, make mention of the title of said document, or if using a date, please use a complete date, which would be the month, the day, and the year of said document. We would ask you, please, not to interrupt each other nor disrespect each other during these proceedings. We will definitely ask you not to interrupt the commissioners as they proceed over this matter. At the end of the hearing, an order will be given. If it is a final order, you are able to appeal that order. We would ask you, please, if appealing the order, to please make a request of the transcript that will be transcribed for said purpose. As of this morning, this case is not scheduled in municipal court. Again, my name is Brenda Madera, and today the commissioners presiding over this matter is Commissioner Bronson, Commissioner Sang, and Commissioner Baez. Thank you.
Hi, good morning and welcome to the Fair Housing Commission. Just so that we understand exactly the process for today's hearing, we're going to first hear from the tenant, establish why we're here, and then we're going to have an opportunity to hear from the landlord. Okay, I understand that the complaint was initiated by Ms. Barbara Watson through her power of attorney, Cassandra Jones. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And did you file this complaint on October the 3rd of 2024 for Ms. Watson?
I don't have that date in front of me. So if you can look at the date for me and tell me if that was the date that I was there.
The complaint is signed
Fine.
October the 3rd, 2024.
And I wanted to see it so I could be accurate about the date. That is correct.
Okay. For the record, can you please state the address that we are here to discuss?
6620 Ogons Avenue.
And your allegation is that Ms. Watson still residing at the property?
No, she is not.
When did that end?
Miss Watson went to the hospital on August 30th, 2024, and then she was told she could not return to that residence.
Is there a lease
I
for this
believe,
property?
I believe it was an oral lease. We have never seen the actual copy, but in conversation with Philadelphia Corporation of the Aging, who has also been looking at this, it was determined that it was an oral lease.
Objection to that characterization.
Okay, Mr. John, I understand that you have a, before we proceed, do you have any requests for the commission?
As far as my objection,
No, my understanding was that you were claiming that there's no jurisdiction for this case to be heard before fair housing?
correct. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to cut Ms. Jones off, but I mean, if you'd like me to address that now, I certainly
would,
can.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's our position, and you know, assuming the hearing continues, you're going to hear this over and over in some different forms, that there is no jurisdiction for the Fair Housing Commission in this matter. This is not a landlord-tenant situation. We provided documentation to support that. We expounded upon that in our answer. This is a personal care arrangement, wherein Gloria Hudson provided and was licensed by the Commonwealth to do so, provided personal care services for residents. The documentation that was entered into a couple decades ago is in regards to those personal care arrangements, and that a resident has to be in an independent state, meaning that they cannot need 24-hour care. They cannot need constant care and attention. They have to be able to live independently. So that is the arrangement that was entered into back in, I believe it was 2000. Yeah, 2000. So
Okay, thank you. Ali, do we have a copy of that arrangement that?
Do I have what the landlord submitted? Yes. I have a question as to like just the physicality of this arrangement. Does Miss Hudson live at the property here?
So yes, so there were two properties. Originally, the personal care arrangement began at the property 2004 East Shelton.
Sorry, you turned your head, sir, and we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Originally, the personal care began at the address of 2004 East Shelton Avenue. And then the care transferred in 2018 to 6620 Ogonce Avenue, which is Miss Hudson's personal residence. So at the time of these allegations, the alleged eviction, yes, Miss Hudson lived in the property. That's correct.
But not before 2018. Prior to that, it was a different property without Miss
Prior,
Hudson living there?
right, prior to 18 was the 2004 East Shelton Avenue property.
So I have the arrangement on the screen, or what I have the paperwork from landlord on the screen.
Yes, that's the yes, the resident. That is from
Okay, Ali, do we need any
2000.
other information so the commissioners can, or is there any other information that we need?
I don't want to put too much on the screen if it's personal.
Mhm.
My only other question would be, my understanding is, and this would probably be for Miss, sorry, so many names, Miss Jones, the power of attorney. Was Miss Hudson's living arrangement paid for by her medical insurance, Medicaid?
No, Ms. Hudson was designated as the payee from Social Security.
I
So
understand.
she received all of the checks to pay for room, board, and all of Barbara's needs.
Okay. That's all I have, Commissioner.
Okay, so is it appropriate for the commissioners to retire and consider the question of whether or not we have jurisdiction?
Yes.
Okay, so then we are going to ask folks to click to join a breakout room while the commissioners consider the question of whether or not this is a case to be heard before us.
If
Thank
I
you.
could add one more thing before you do that.
I don't believe we need any other information, Council.
Okay, good enough. Thank you.
So just click join once you receive the prompt.
Michael, can you take the public member, Commissioner?
Okay, so we're back in session. Before we went into the breakout room, there was one other question that we did have for Ms. Jones. And Ms. Jones, what exactly is it that you are seeking? You're
Miss,
mute.
you're mute, yeah.
There it is, okay. We are seeking resolution of Barbara being evicted improperly by our opinion. And because of this, she has had numerous issues being admitted into short-term care and long-term care, because every time we have completed the paperwork, they go back to her residence at 6620 Ogonce Avenue.
Okay, let me
asking
just,
for
I'm sorry, I don't mean
documentation.
to be rude and interrupt you, but I just want to have a clear understanding. Are you asking for her to be reinstated to the property address that we're here to discuss?
No, what I was saying, we need the financial papers that are tied up in this, because when Barbara goes to another resident, they keep asking for the financial documents that Barbara had under.
So,
when
Ms.
she was
Jones,
at
what do you
50
mean
for
by
20.
financial document?
So in order for Barbara to be admitted to a short-term or a long-term care facility, they request 5 years of financial documentation because Barbara received Social Security.
Okay, thank you. With that information, I believe that the commissioners believe that we need to take a recess again, or
I think that would make sense, Commissioner.
thank you. Okay, so then we're going to again invite folks to go back to the breakout room while we discuss this matter again. Thank you and welcome back. The commissioners have discussed this matter. And on the question of whether we have jurisdiction to hear this case, the commissioners believe that we do not have jurisdiction to hear this case. Therefore, we will be dismissing this case with prejudice. We do not believe that we can offer a solution or relief that the parties are seeking in this matter. There may be another venue where the parties can seek relief, but this certainly is not the forum. Based on what I heard, it seems that the parties are asking for some information. Perhaps the parties can work with each other to obtain the information that they need. But without that, we certainly do not have jurisdiction. So with that, this case will be dismissed with prejudice and it's adjourned. Are there any questions? Ms.
Thank you,
Jones, you're
Commissioner.
muted.
Ms. Jones, you're muted.
Thank you. I was trying to unmute. I would like the process to appeal.
You certainly have that option to do so.
Miss Madeira will give you the information for that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, everyone's free to go. Thank you very much again for being here today.
Thank you.
Just ask everyone who's not a Fair Housing Commission staff member to please log off.